In our top stories tonight, lockdown for Kasanda Mubende extended for another 21 days. Janet Museveni advises parents on child raising. Accidents attributed mainly to road users' indiscipline. And Uganda to pitch for World Walking Day at COP27. Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Laurine Masika Kazimoto and Mohammed Mugalu Sign Language Interpretation. Now we start off this newscast with our first headlining story this evening. Government has extended a lockdown for 21 days for the two districts of Mubende and Kasanda, and that still remains the epicenter for the Ebola outbreak. Now, on behalf of the President, Minister Cheng explained that the extension of the lockdown is meant to curb further spread of Ebola within the affected districts and other parts of the country. We have the details.
Into and out of Kasanda and Mubende districts, and issued other containment measures that should be undertaken through a multi-sector approach to control the Ebola epidemic for 21 days. The 21 days elapsed yesterday, Friday, the 4th November 2021. The National Task Force sat yesterday to evaluate the situation in the two districts as well as Kampala metropolitan area. His Excellency, the President, directed that I update the country. I will now report on the decisions as directed by His Excellency, the President. The outbreak has affected the districts of Mubende, Kasanda, Kagadi, Bunyangabo, Chegegwa, Wakiso, Kampala City, and most recently, Masaka District. This brings the total number of affected authorities and local governments to 8. This spread is attributed to movements of contacts and symptomatic individuals for health services. Regarding the status of the Ebola outbreak, to date, a total of 132 people have been confirmed positive for Ebola virus disease. 61 have recovered, while 53 have succumbed to the disease. A total of 18 confirmed cases are still admitted, receiving treatment at both Mubende and Entebbe Ebola treatment units. The outbreak epicenter remains Mubende and Kasanda districts. Specifically, in Mubende district, the most affected sub-counties are Madudu, Chiroma, and the eastern division of the municipality. While in Kasanda district, the sub-county of Kalwana and specifically Chikandwa parish is the most affected. The President's directive of restricted movements was to give opportunity to various ministries, departments, and agencies, together with partners, to optimize control efforts in the two districts and minimize spread to other areas. To date, however, while great work has been done, there is still evidence of transmission in these epicenter districts. In Mubende, the number of cases have slightly reduced because of the vigilance of the population after understanding the dangers of Ebola and their determination to end the epidemic. I want to thank them for this. More work still needs to be done for the district to be completely free of Ebola. However, in Kasanda, progress has been slow because of challenges of a weak health system, myths and misinformation, belief in witchcraft, coupled with the unbecoming behavior of exhumation of dead bodies to perform cultural rituals. For example, from only one exhumed body, up to 43 persons have since been infected with Ebola, 6 of whom have succumbed to the disease. Hence, the number of cases in Kasanda are still increasing. Furthermore, drug shops, pharmacies, and private clinics in these epicenter districts have been reported as contributing to the spread of the infection in the population. Therefore, to minimize further spread of Ebola within these districts and to protect the rest of the country from continued exposure, all the directives issued by His Excellency the President of Uganda on the 15th of October 2022 will be extended for another 21 days. Let me repeat that. To minimize further the spread of Ebola within the 2 districts of Mubende and Kasanda, and to protect the rest of the country from continued exposure, all the directives issued by His Excellency the President of Uganda on the 15th of October 2022 will be extended for another 21 days. Additionally, all private healthcare facilities and drug shops in Mubende and Kasanda will be inspected and assessed for conformity with infection prevention and control standards. All those that do not meet the required standards will be temporarily closed, and the healthcare workers trained by the Ministry of Health to improve on infection prevention. The health regulatory authorities are requested to support the Ministry of Health in this exercise to protect the lives of the health workers and ensure a safe working environment. I want to reassure the country that government is doing all that is possible to control this outbreak, as we have done before. Therefore, there is no need for anxiety or panic. The situation in Kampala metropolitan area remains under control as the Ministry of Health and partners continue to sensitize the population and follow up all the contacts. Our healthcare workers will continue to do all it takes to save lives and bring the epidemic to an end. I call upon the public to cooperate with the healthcare workers and report anybody with signs and symptoms similar to that of Ebola virus disease early enough to improve survival of the patients, but also to protect the rest of the population. Do not run away to another district when you have had contact. You run away with the disease and you will eventually die. In addition, spreading the disease to other parts of the country exposes many people to infection and makes the epidemic more difficult to control. Lastly, I want to thank the people of Mubende and Kasanda for their understanding, commitment, and sacrifice. We are relying on you to cooperate and bring this epidemic to an end. I also appeal to the population in Kampala metropolitan area to cooperate and avoid spreading the disease further. The recent case in Masaka, taken there by a pregnant mother, was unfortunate and should not happen again. Let us work together with understanding. Finally, I appreciate all the healthcare workers for their tireless efforts, dedication, and commitment to control epidemics and ensure that the country is safe. I thank you all for listening to me, and I thank His Excellency, the President, the Savalwani, for giving me this opportunity to update the country. For God and my country.
Now, the Vice President, Jessica Lupo, has thanked everyone for putting aside other activities and joining the family of the late Elangot to celebrate his life. She thanked the leaders of Serere and Teso at large for maintaining peace and security, which are key elements for growth. The Vice President appreciated the family members for their attitude in relating to the clan members well, which is one of the ways of giving glory to God and also remembering the late Elangot. We have the details.
Yala na kuko kilibere that is a kuku
Andrew Annually Toto High is the Vice President I do Turo Otoma Ates Kia Papa Nebekede Toto Relumina Lina Tony Thomas Roma Papina Doni Apapa Dioi Narai Arai Papa Ikenina Jenny Totoloi
Itunga kwatat amolikaru anuka oteso ido ajaingo inisidio papa ilikijo papa president so papa chairman usote tegale program
So I would like to encourage all of us to continue thanking God for the gift of the life of Papa John Robert Elangot, who was seen in Bukedia, in Serere, in Kaberemaido, in Kumi, in Katakwi, as the son of Teso. That means he was a unifier. He knew how to handle what is called humanity. And that's also a message that we should learn from him. When I was appointed vice president, he called me and said, I want to know where you are staying. I want to come and see where my daughter is staying. And I invited him and he came home. His voice was very clear. His arguments were resonating very well with the current situation. And he would reflect it to that situation of those days when he was governor, when he was in the government of His Excellency Milton Obote and also Amin. Very clear, you would see a very intelligent person. John Robert Elangot was not just a regional person here in Teso, but he was a national leader who did a lot for the country in terms of policy formulation and also guiding in the enactment of those laws, especially in the financial sector. Let's educate our children the way Papa Elangot educated his children and also the extended family, children from extended family. Let's continue following standard operating procedures of Ebola so that we defeat it the way we defeated COVID. It was not extravagant. And he lived this life very simple. Many of the organizations he has worked in, which have been named here, UDC, Bank of Uganda, Cairo Bank, all those institutions, money. So my uncle John Robert Elamoto worked in all those big institutions where there was cash, but no track record of corruption, no track record of abuse of office. And that is a very good message again for all of us to learn from.
President Roma, and he's very generous, that man. And then when he crosses
with us, Ochama isengo esukunyesi serere taunuka.
Refer to some whom I don't know. When we secured multiple
People living with cancer want government to enact a policy to protect survivors and those diagnosed with the disease. According to cancer survivors, without the policy, these have had their rights violated and others stigmatized. We have details in this report.
There is an estimated 18.1 million cancer patients across the world. 9.3 million of these cases are men and 8.8 million women. Breast and lung cancers are the most common cancers worldwide, contributing to 12.5%. Colorectal cancer is third, with 10.7% among others. In most cases, when one is formed with cancer or even survives it, the effects come with stigma from public, among other issues.
Cancer treatment makes a person disabled. I lost a breast when I was getting cancer treatment, and these are not available anywhere. So you start life with a disfigurement, you try this and there, and we try to, and this is a woman's identity is a breast. So if you tell a woman you're going to lose breasts because that's the treatment available, many of them will not go for it.
But when you find that there's a victim or someone who has gotten cancer, please support that person, love them, and be able to provide a lot of assistance that they need.
It's against this background that survivors of cancer and people living with cancer want a policy aimed at protecting them.
Others are actually laid off by employers, and I think coming to talk about rights of patients and emphasizing a policy that protects people who are diagnosed with illnesses like this from summary dismissal and being sidelined when it comes to promotions and jobs, I think is one of the most important things.
Of replacement. So we have a challenge of replacements for women who have lost breast to breast cancer. And these processes, artificial breast and bras, are really expensive and not available in markets. And also living in fear, cancer recurring, cancer coming back. So you have to continuously check, continuously get for reviews. And these are costly reviews, which many people may not afford because with the cancer treatment you get bankrupt.
This was communicated during cancer awareness during the month of November at the event held in Kampala. The climax ended with a physical exercise aimed at showing its importance to prevent cause of cancer.
We know obesity is one of the risk factors for most of the cancers, especially breast. So physical inactivity. So we are here to encourage all the people who have not got the disease to reduce their risk by exercising.
According to the research conducted by World Health Organization, cancer is the leading cause of death worldwide, claiming over 10 million lives in 2020. Cancer survivors have called upon the public to go for regular medical checkups to enable them learn about their status.
And go for screening services as prescribed by public health guidelines, because it is only after that we are able to treat cancer in its earliest stage and increase survivability rates.
Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogode, UBC News.
Well, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break but returns after these messages.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77 hash or use the Momo app to register.
The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a specialized quasi-judicial body established under Section 93 of the Electricity Act to handle all civil cause disputes relating, but not limited to, regulatory disputes, billing and licensing, tariffs, power generation, transmission and distribution issues, compensation resulting from activities in the electricity sector including civil wrongs and breaches of statutory and contractual duties and consumer-related complaints. The Electricity Disputes Tribunal is a special court and the first instance court that deals with electricity matters in the country. For more information, please contact the Electricity Disputes Tribunal at Amber House, Kampala Road, opposite Post Office, or call us on 041 232987.
That's right. The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The 12th Annual Africa Students Education Fair is back. Come meet representatives of universities, colleges, and schools from USA, Canada, UK, Poland, Ireland, Spain, Germany, Switzerland, Japan, and India on Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of July at the Sheraton Hotel, Kampala, Uganda from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For further inquiries, please contact Maria on 0702-628-446 or email inquiries@asefevents.com or visit www.asefevents.com. Organized by Africa Students Education Fairs Limited and sponsored by Kessie Tours and Travel, WR Education Consultants, and Loyalist College Canada.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just set a full register. Yes. Become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Farmers have been cautioned on the proper use of agriculture inputs for better production, whereas farmers are encouraged to apply pesticides to keep their gardens safe. Most farmers have not grasped the best practices of pesticide application. We have the details.
Uganda is one of the most vulnerable regions to climate change, leading to the collapse of soil health and declining crop yields due to chemical abuse. This calls for the use of best agro inputs like pesticides to reduce diseases and increase crop yields, for without them there would be a 32% loss of cereal production, according to agriculturalists.
So we do encourage farmers, particularly when handling the fall armyworm, they must direct the nozzle into the fennel of the maize so that that chemical can go deep and even settle there.
Through their mid-season training, Sakawa Africa Association has equipped farmers on integrated pest and disease management, integrated soil fertility management, and using regenerative agriculture to tackle soil degradation and climate change.
Under the regenerative agriculture aspect, we are looking at all possible options that we can implement, that we can use together or concurrently to help this farmer achieve the optimum yield of a particular crop.
Mzee Sebastian, a maize farmer at Chawahesi village in Isingiro, shares tips on the best farming practices.
Ngafuhira mu kubanza bikirya omusaizi into nagaruka nafuhira mu gwa kabiri nagaruka natamuhire yabyaka amazu nateka mu bandage ninga obunyerere obuburu kurebamo obwo kuma amizi garimo kugenda.
On integrated pest and disease management, farmers called for more training in the effective use of spray pumps to reduce toxicity of chemicals.
To make sure that each group or each parish gets their own spray pump. We're actually recommending it at individual level, but where it fails, then as a group.
The technical coordinator for regenerative agriculture, Jonathan Katende, told UBC that farmers have adopted better farming methods for both commercial and home consumption.
There is increasing use of especially improved seed. Farmers are also going on to use both the organic and inorganic fertilizers, and which eventually improve the yield, but also farmers are getting more and more information and knowledge.
The memorandum of understanding with the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Sakawa Africa Association seeks to transfer improved agricultural technologies to enhance food security and household incomes of smallholder farmers. Bernard Yiga, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition with more stories with myself, Laurine Masika Kazimoto, and my colleague, Muhammad Mugalu. We'll see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston brings you Bera the Genesis concert on 26 26th November 2022 at Kololo Airstrip. Come we celebrate gospel music as we take you through the Genesis, featuring Entry tickets at 20,000 shillings, VIP tickets at 50,000 shillings, and a table of 10 at 2 million shillings. And the first 1,000 people who will buy a ticket via MTN mobile money will get a discount of 5,000 shillings on each. Don't forget, people with disabilities enter for free. Livingston Live in Bera the Genesis concert is brought to you by Plascon, Fenon, Coca-Cola,